Welcome to another episode of Poke Takeover. We are here this morning on, what is the date? December 9th. It's a Monday, and we are just, see here, just sipping on some coffee with a master. Yeah. So, I am literally adjusting this camera and getting this right. I'm just doing some organizing right now. And both my son, one of my sons and I, Josh and I, went to Game of Stores along with Bo. But Josh and I, we placed, well, we didn't place, I don't know what that, we had a 2-2 yesterday. I played my Roy Moon EX deck, and I believe, what deck did he play? I think it was Dialga deck. Anyways, he won 2 and lost 2. I won 2 and lost 2. Something else I want to say is really cool about the entire experience yesterday is there are times when certain things happen. When I put down a, for example, one time I put down it was a dark patch. I put down a dark patch, and I had to call the judge over to see, because I put it down and didn't realize in my discard pile I did not have any energy. So I picked it and put it back in my hand thinking, well, I can't use this. And then I thought about it and I was like, wait a minute. So I called the judge over, and the judge, which was Jason from Game of Stores, came over and let me know that the decision is that because of the way the card reads, I am allowed to pick it up and take it off the table and put it back into my hand. So that was okay. Then later on, I did the same thing. I thought too quickly, didn't check my discard pile, which, by the way, guys, check your discard piles. Check your discard piles, guys. Because the next one, I did not get the same grace. I put down a Status Vitality, Professor of Status Vitality, and tried to pick it back up, but thought about the same thing, because I didn't have any energy in my deck to actually use. I called him over, and he checked it out, and said, yep, actually, Stata has to be played because of the way it reads, and that was pretty much that. So, but yeah. So, make sure to be honest. You may lose games or whatever, but street cred is definitely worth its weight in gold out there on the streets of Pokemon. You don't want to be known as someone that's trying to cheat or win or something like that, based upon, some trickery. So, that being said, be a good player. And so anyways, other than that, again, back to sort of some I guess benefits of this game, including benefits of Magic the Gathering. Just like any sport, even though some might argue this is not a sport, I would argue it is, because chess is actually considered a sport. In fact, chess actually has one of the largest governing bodies of one of the largest. Let's see. I think it goes somewhere in the ballpark of the top 3. I think it's FIFA, the soccer, football or soccer. Soccer is number 1, and then I think like maybe Olympic Committee is number 2, and then you have the chess organization, which is it's FIDE, but it's connected also to the USCF, the United States Chess Federation, and it is considered a sport. Yeah. Anyways, make sure you're looking at your your game as just like any other game out there, guys. I mean, football, basketball, baseball. You need to stay in shape to do this. You don't need to be slack and crazy. You need to do some exercise, walk. You know, get into things. Watch what you're eating. It makes an effect. I ate 3 hot dogs and a lot of pepperoni yesterday, and I'm pretty sure that was not the correct meal I probably should have had before going into a 3 hour to 4 hour long, 3 hour long tournament. Yeah, that was not exactly smart. So, all that being said, think about what you're doing out there, and also just remember to enjoy yourself. It's important to enjoy what you're doing out there, because if you're not enjoying yourself, I'm not sure what you're doing. You probably need to take a break. But all that being said, yes. And other than that, list in the comments what's going on today, guys. We're kind of here, I'll do a Pokemon today. A Pokemon today will be Jirachi. Yes, Jirachi. Here's a Jirachi, guys. There's also a Radiant Jirachi that's been used before to protect Pokemon on the bench and elsewhere. Yep, cute little Jirachi. This is a metal version of Jirachi, metal type. Let's see what this thing says. It says, it is said to have the ability to grant any wish for just 1 week every 1,000 years. Huh. Well, I'm lucky to have Jirachi then. Just in case. I don't know when that 1 week happens, but what would you wish if you had 1 wish in 1 week in 1,000 years? First of all, you're probably a vampire. But second of all, excuse me. Yeah, that's pretty much Jirachi, by the way. Second of all, I don't know what I wish. There's too many things to think about. World peace, I don't know. Let's see here. So, Jirachi. I'm just kind of looking up any other facts about Jirachi. Yeah, I didn't think so. I was just making sure he has no evolution. And he's a steel and psychic type. But according to myth, if you write your wish on one of the notes attached to Jirachi's head, I didn't realize that. So these little green things attached to his head are notes. If you write your wish on one of the notes attached to Jirachi's head and then sing to it in a pure voice, the Pokemon will awaken from its 1,000-year slumber and grant your wish. Well, he already looks awake, so I think we missed it. So someone took advantage of that. Oh my gosh, someone wrote something on his head. Yeah, okay, well, so, great. So he is usually about 1 foot tall and about 2.4 pounds. Yep, and it's Jirachi. So, also want to take a moment this morning to go over, I always meet people that are very interested in trying to play the game, that are collecting and realize there's a lot of fun to be had that they're missing, and they want to take part. So congratulations for making that choice if that is you. It's gonna feel a little uphill at first getting into this because you're trying to do something maybe you've never done before, first of all. Second of all, you don't really know. Oh, look, here's another Jirachi. All right, we're having lots of Jirachi sightings today. Yes, I like it. I like it. Love it. And this one says the exact same thing at the bottom right. By the way, this one is a Paradox Rift, and the other one is a Stellar Crown set. So pretty cool, both metal type. So anyways, you're getting into this and you gotta be asking yourself, how do I create a deck? How do I create a deck? Because I mean, that's basically what you have to do first. Well, if you have thousands, hundreds, dozens of Pokemon, whatever the number is you have, doesn't matter. But I'm sure you're thinking to yourself, man, how do I put them together to do this? I used to ask myself, how are these people coming up with this? And I've got a 10-year-old, so at the time I was playing around that age up to a lot older. I'm 47, so I'm actually kind of interested at the time. I was interested at the time trying to figure out what in the world are these people doing to get these decks to work so wonderfully together. Are they just magicians? No is the answer. They are keeping up with what is on, you'll hear this phrase, the meta. So the meta, I do not like that phraseology. I do not think that phraseology has anything to do with anything at all. I'm not sure why someone chose that to describe what I refer to as competition decks. That's the meta, competition decks. If you want to compete in tournaments or just buy and buy with friends, first of all, go to compete buy and buy with friends, you can do anything you want, but you can go get your Battle Academy and space out with that. One of the best decks to start out with if you just want something to buy and it's just ready to go is the Charizard League Battle Deck. It's a level 3 battle deck sold with everything in it. It comes with really good cards and you can start playing immediately. You could probably, I had to go against that deck yesterday, my Roy Moon EX deck in the tournament, and it was actually pretty difficult and could have gotten me had it gotten up and running a little quicker. But yeah, it was a handful. So it's good to go. And I know she won, the person I was playing, at least one match. But anyways, let's see here. So limitlesstcg.com. I know you've heard me say it before. Limitlesstcg.com. This video is coming down to this moment where limitlesstcg.com is where you're going to go. As soon as you get on the website, it's going to show you the top 29 decks. First of all, it's the top 6 decks, and you got to click on complete more decks. You can search by deck that you want, click on it, and it'll pop up the core cards that are in that specific deck. You need 60 cards to play a game of Pokemon. Combination of energy, trainers, and Pokemon. So I've got a deck called the Snorlax Stall deck that has no energy. Then I've got other decks that have like tons of energy. So how much energy? Go ahead and answer that question. It depends. What does it depend on? Well, I'm not the one, and most of these people that I'm playing are not really doing a lot of creating. They may make these decks their own eventually, like putting in a couple cards here and there and modifying. But for the most part, everyone starts out with a general idea using this meta, using this competition deck list on limitlesstcg.com to decide which deck is actually proven in the tournament scene across the entire planet, by the way, which one's actually winning. So if you take the top 10 decks and you choose one of those and start building it right now, you'll have a decent deck to start out with. I would go top 5 and work from there. But if you start this, make sure to scroll below the core cards and you'll see the people that played that certain deck and at what tournament, and you can choose a tournament and what place they placed in, and then you can hit the little deck list, the little list. Hit that. Everyone has to supply a deck list in a league sanctioned tournament to Pokemon so that they record what you're using, and it's cataloged and the metrics are done and kept, and I guess in the higher levels maybe. I'm not sure exactly all that, but anyways, they keep up with the decks that win. And so they go into that system on Limitless TCG and get coughed out to everyone in the world to look at. It's kind of like looking at the standings at the end of the golf tournament or something like that. You know who's doing what, you know what kind of clubs they're using and all that kind of stuff. But anyways, so you find out what deck list that person has. You print it out, copy it, paste it. I write them down just because that's me. And then you go out and you buy one card at a time. Start at your shops, your local shops. Start in your own collection first. Do you have any of these in your collection? Do you have any of the trainers? Do you have any of the energy? Usually you have the energy. Do you have any of the Pokemon bulk style Pokemon? Do you have any like the EXs, the Vs, the V-Stars, but whatever you need, okay? And then you go to your shops. Go to Game of Stores, go to Phoenix Emporium, go to Oblivion Games. These are 3 awesome places to go around here. Some shops sell singles, some do not. All 3 shops that I just told you about are Oblivion Games is in Tampa, Game of Stores is in Largo, Florida, and Phoenix Emporium is in Clearwater, excuse me. So you can go to these stores and you can start putting together your deck immediately by looking through their bulk cards, especially bulk trainers, to get your trainers, and then start hunting down those hard to find EXs or whatever your main fighter is in the deck. Sometimes it might be a Charizard, sometimes it might be like a Serena EX or Hisuian Bravery. That's a really good one. But make sure you put together a deck and then sleeve that thing. Sleeves cost about anywhere between, depending on what kind you get, $8 to $15. Dragon Shield sleeves, I believe, are probably one of the more reliable sleeves. So that's not me putting a plug in for Dragon Shield, but it is me putting a plug in for Dragon Shield. Because usually I like to buy the Ultra Pro gloss versus the Dragon Shield matted sleeves, because I like the slippery sleeves more than the non-slippery sleeves for shuffling purposes. But I learned here lately that the gloss usually become glossed over and are a little hard to shuffle also eventually. But you'll get the whole shuffling thing down, and ultimately you just have to end up changing out your sleeves like you change your shoes. Every once in a while you'll need new sleeves. So go ahead and put that in your brain. Sleeves are not forever. They don't last forever. So I hope this helps. If you got questions, ask in the comments. Otherwise, enjoy the day, guys. And don't forget, we also talk about Magic the Gathering foundations. And I'll be able to talk more into that once I know more about it. So take care, guys. Enjoy the day. Peace out.